Right, this is just a quick comparison. Um, the Poly Digit or Poly Beebo sort of versus the Empress Effects Zoia. They're both modular pedals. Uh, both got a lot of overlap, quite similar in a lot of ways. Um, got slightly different ways of doing things. They've both got strengths and weaknesses as well. And I'm going to say straight off the bat, I mean, I'm keeping both of these because they both got things that I like about them that the other one hasn't got. But this is more about looking at the way you operate it, really, and seeing which one you would probably prefer. This is obviously much more visual. I mean, you literally see things patched away, but this is still quite intuitive. I've had this slightly longer, so I'm probably slightly better at this, even though I'm no expert by any means. Not had this long. Some people get confused if it's the Poly Digit or Poly Beebo. You used to have a firmware button in the settings. You used to say change if it was in Beebo, it'd say change to Digit, and you press a button and it loads up Digit. So it doesn't matter if you get the pink or blue one, you've got them both inside. But now, since firmware 3, they've just combined the Digit and Beebo. It's exactly the same pedal. Everything's available. So the reverbs, convolution reverbs, and the cabs, stuff like that, that was on the Digit, and the more synthesis kind of stuff. I mean, generally, and the effects like choruses and modulation effects that were on the Beebo are now all together on one thing. Which makes it more comparable to the Empress Zoia, because that's the same way. So both modular pedals. I mean, if you probably know what they are if you're watching this, but they can be effects pedals, they can be synthesizers, they can be controllers for like MIDI controllers, they can be whatever you want to build. And they can be a mixture of things. So you can add LFOs and envelopes to your chorus or whatever, you know. So I'll start off by doing a simple patch. I'll start with the Beebo. I'm going to have a stereo sound coming in, and I want a stereo filter controlled by an LFO in each. Maybe just going into reverb. Don't know. Let's see how this goes. So straight away, you've got your little sections here. So I'm going to get a filter. There's a Korg. You can just copy that like that, and it is there. It dumps them all. It always dumps them there in the same place. So you got to be careful. Sometimes you think it hasn't done it, and what it has, it's piled them all up on top of each other. So I'm going to have two. I mean, you don't have to have two the same filters. I could have had two different filters, but let's get a controller. You got all sorts of different things. You got chaos controller, different versions of ADSRs with more sections. Envelope follower would be quite good, but let's just stick with the LFO. Copy that. I'm definitely going to have a reverb. Now I think I'm going to stick to mono reverbs, because when I've put a stereo reverb, you only get one input. So it's not a 2 in, 2 out, it's a 1 in, 2 out. I don't know if they're all like that. Copy that. So it's dumped it there. I wish it dumped it next to it. Do I want anything else? Or am I just making it too complicated already? Delay. Stereo. Because I'm thinking of things that I can have in here as well. Which is, like I say, there's a lot of overlap. Ah, that's what I want. The reverbs. Oh, hang on, what have we got in here? So if we have a look in. Yeah, so the reverbs only have a gain control. There's no wet dry in it. In the Zoia, you get a wet dry on, I'm going to say nearly every effect, but I'm not sure. Definitely on the delays and reverbs, you get a wet dry. Here, you've always got to put in a wet dry module. So that makes it a little bit more complicated, but it might make it a little bit more flexible. I don't know. Let's just stick with that before we get to otherwise this video go on and on. So we're going to have an input. I got the wrong one. Never mind. Okay, I'm crossing over. Don't cross the streams. And we're going to have LFO control it. Yeah, it's asking, what do you want to control? I want the cutoff CV. You see, that's a green. Might be hard to see. That's a green cable, which means it's a controller, not a signal. So we'll do the same here. What do you want to control? Cutoff. All right. So really, I want that there just to keep it. So I'm going to join that reverb there. Join that reverb there. Which is 100% wet. So I'm going to join that to the wet and dry. So we'll have a left dry. That one there. Right dry. And then left wet. Left wet right. And then we want outputs. So where do you want? Out left. So if there's an option, it always asks you what do you want to connect? I want out right. So let me just bypass that. So I've got a little sort of granular sort of sound coming from the Tasty Chips GR1 granular synthesis, which is panning about. Okay. So there you go, you can hear. Tell you what I haven't done. I haven't put a reverb in the reverb. So let's give real spaces. Let's see what we got. See, because I've gone monos, you often get a left and right. Student Union stairwell left. Just try that. Okay. Real spaces. Student Union stairwell right. Right. There you go. Got a bit of reverb now. So these are quite basic filters. You get others. Just turn the Q up. have a look in the LFO. So you've got unipolar on. That depends if it's going up and down from the point you've got, or if it's just going up. So let's change that in both. So we move that up a little bit. It's the only thing, when you're in one, you forget where you are sometimes. Especially if you've got multiple copies of an LFO or something else. So you go, oh, I'm in LFO. And you come back out and you go, well, which one was I in? Because you go in LFO 2, it just says LFO. So sometimes you're never sure which one. I wish it just said 2 up there, like it does here. Low pass filter 2, low pass filter. That's like 1 and 2. So we can change the speed of that a bit. So go into the wet and dry. So that's 100% dry, 100% wet. So yeah, pretty simple. I mean, it's a simple patch, just to show you how it's done on there. So I'll bypass that. We're doing the Zoia now. Same thing, but here's on a grid and buttons. So you press something anywhere on the grid, doesn't matter. And you've got pages and pages. It doesn't have to fit all on this. So it's asking you, what do you want? I want an interface module. Audio input. I'll change it to white, just because I always seem to. I always know what it is then. Stereo. Done. Go down here. Another interface module. Audio output. I'll change that to white as well. Gain control. So it's give me an extra dot or square. That's left and right out. This gives me a gain control. So yeah, want that. Done. Now I'm not going to connect those up. So I want to get all this stuff in. So let's go. What is a filter and audio? So yeah, we're going to go low pass. Go orange. You can change these afterwards as well. Whereas on this, you have to, well, as far as I know, you have to delete it and then put in your other module. This, you can go into the module, the filter, and go, actually, I want a high pass filter, and you can just change it. So it's stereo, so I want another one of those. Audio module, multi-filter, low pass. I'm gonna keep it the same color. Done. Right, so now I want 2 LFOs, which is a control module. I'm sure you can't see this screen, it's very small. That's at the top. I want LFO. I don't want a square. You've got random, triangle. There are other ways you can modulate it, like you've got a swing control, which changes the shape. You've got different phase things. that's the input. You can tap tempo it. I'm sure you can do the same in that. So you've got LFO there. I'm going to stick another one there. Control model, LFO. Don't want a square. Sine wave. Done. And I add a reverb. Effects module. Let's have a hall. I'm going to have lime. Don't want to go around the colours here. Come back. Just have that. Right, now same thing. Connect them up. And now you can see what's what. So that's input left, input right. There you go. What's that? That's filter input. There's your frequency. There's your Q. And there's the out. It goes in one end, out the other. LFO. Just CV control. And there it is. So that's your speed control, and that's it actually doing it. Reverb in, left, right, out, left, right, and all the other controls, including mix. So, one left, that'll be left there. Well, actually, no, this is just two mono filters. So, go left to that input, right to that input. We're going left out to left in on the reverb, and then right out to the right. And now if you press the button, you can see what's linked. So my input's going there, my other input's going there. So it tells you where it's linked rather than the cables. Right, so I want the LFO, I want that to control the cutoff. So the cutoff's the second one, second square in both the filters. So we go bang there, bang there. And there it is. But it's only doing it so you can set how much depth you want. That's obviously 100%. So you can have a look at that. You can press shift. So that's everything there. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I don't know why it didn't do that. So you're actually seeing it do it. And the speed the LFOs are going. Just change the speed of one of them. So you can see when I press the keys, well, you can't see me press the keys, but I'm pressing them now. You can see that's just signal lighting it all up. What I haven't done is connect the outs. So that one there, that one there. So there we go. So that's on the Zoia. Bypass that. Now I've got more Q on there, so let's take the Q right down, back, and put a little bit. Oh, there's a little bit of Q on the filter. So that's the Beebo. That's the Zoia. So highlight that. I might not want that 100%. So let's take that down. So this is like an attenuator. If you want to attenuate something in there, you have to use an attenuator and drop it in. So highlight that, bang. Delay that a bit, 70. There we go, that'll do. So now you see it's not quite going all the way. Let's move that up. Zoia. It's quite hard to get them to match, but so there you go. I'll say which one's better than the other. I mean, I don't hear a great deal of difference, really, considering that's different reverbs and different filters. You've got a choice of filters in there, choice of filters in here, choice of reverbs in both. I mean, there's so much, and this gets updated all the time with new effects. And it's great. You've got great algorithmic reverbs here and great IRs in here. Turn that off, that on. Turn both on. So you go. They're both keepers.